Hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United, Pig in the Hen Show, joined by Henry Hotspur. It's been a little while since we've done this.
Long time no see.
Manchester United have just drawn with West Ham, 0-0 in the Premier League. Absolutely gashtastic game of football, must be said. Poor performance, I'd say, from United. We might have had the better of the chances. I mean, I just think it boils down to United not really giving a shit at this stage of the season. There's nothing less for us to really do in the Premier League. Champions League football is secure.
How about we don't give a shit?
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
We ain't been around for ages. You know what I mean? We don't give a fuck, do we?
Oh, by the way, just to fill you in, Henry's on the beers. Show him the beers.
Daisy.
He's had 5 beers on the way over
15
here.
of these for a tenner, I'm telling you right now. £10 sterling. They ain't worth fuck all internationally these days. Because I'm moving to China soon, and I checked out the exchange rate, right? And it's a joke. It's a fucking joke, right? A pound don't even get you 10 Chinese RMB. Do you know what I mean? That don't mean shit to you, but it means a lot to me. Because when I was there about 5 or 6 years ago, it weren't like that. A pound can get you a lot more than 10 Chinese RMB. I'm telling you right now. So what the fuck is going on with the pound, mate? Fuck that shit.
Mate, is this how we're leading in with this podcast?
So anyway, back to the
Back
beers.
to the fucking football, mate.
15 of these premium lagers, 15 cans, okay, only 440ml, but still that is the expectant amount in a can of beer in the UK. Okay, 15 for £10. That ain't bad. That's a Tesco deal right there for you.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But anyway, back to the Manchester United game. West Ham United did a good job of holding on there. Like I was saying, I just don't think we've got much to play for in the Premier League now. All our focus is, of course, on the FA Cup final coming up, and I think it's not right, but I think the lads they're lacking a little bit of motivation. They're getting out there, they're trying, but are they really mentally trying 110%? I don't think so. Paul Pogba again, I thought today was pretty gashtastic in the centre of the park. I was a little bit disappointed with the exclusion of Rashford and Martial from the starting lineup. These are the games leading up to the end of the season. We've got nothing to play for. Give these lads some freaking game time, Jose Mourinho. What's all that shit about? You know, why not give the youth players, the younger players, a little bit of opportunity now for these games? Rest the likes of Alexis Sanchez. Rest the likes of Paul Pogba. Why not? You know, give some of the other lads an opportunity. And so that pissed me off a little bit about today.
Is he not resting these players for the FA Cup final? I mean, I know that's a few
2 games away,
though,
isn't it? Yeah.
Isn't it? But, you know,
I mean, he had to
is that in the mind?
He had to rest Lukaku because Lukaku's carrying a little bit of an injury, so he's a little bit of a doubt for the FA Cup final. So it's like he's not going to play. But rather than play Alexis Sanchez up top on his own there, why not just have like Rashford up there or Martial or something? You know, I just don't get that. But there you go.
So what, just not playing a striker today? 0-0. I know, fucking boring bullshit. I mean, not even worth doing a Pig in the Hen show about. Kind of that standard. Super chat from Alex Rincon. Fantastic. Thank you. Get in, Pig. I don't know about that. We finished second with that draw, so pay up, Hen. You owe him 50, right? Well, I'll tell you what, Rincon, you're such a baller.
You're right,
Why don't
Rincon.
you just pay it on my behalf? And then, actually, I'd lower the tone a bit and say thank you, mate. But if you did that, go on, mate.
But you're absolutely right there, Alex. I've won the bet today, haven't I?
No, it's shit, and it's
You mathematically cannot.
I've been waiting until we were live on air, just so if you don't smack me, or if you do smack me, at least it's live. I ain't paying them.
That's fine. We never specified a timeline of when it needs to be paid, mate. So.
Oh, nice, mate. So
but last year,
15 years down the line, then. Yeah.
Last year I gave it you in a matter of weeks. So you know, and I think you'll find that I did pay up last year, mate. So do you know what I mean? If you want to turn into a dirty welcher, I'd expect nothing less from a typical Spurs fan, mate.
If you don't see me on the show for a while, you know what's happening. I've done a runner. Could not afford that 50. Rincon, pay up, mate.
Typical Spurs fan. If they're not out pissing in cups and throwing them over opposition fans, they're welching on bets left, right, and centre. Oh dear. Katorga comments, how's it going? And says, get more youth lads on, at least they'd care. I agree with that. It's a good opportunity last couple of games in the Premier League where we've secured second place.
Tommy played?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But Rashford, I just want to see Rashford play. He's not played enough this season.
Especially with England losing, it's a fine. You want to impress, don't
exactly.
You? You know? Yeah.
I would have thought Jose Mourinho would have given him the opportunity tonight. Anyway, just tonight against West Ham in a game that we don't really need to win. He probably would help us win the game, though. That's the thing, because like Katorga says, at least they'd care. It's an opportunity for them. Every game is a real opportunity to impress and learn something and impress the manager. And unfortunately, those opportunities were given to the likes of Pogba and Sanchez, who, in my opinion, They were a bit lacklustre.
I mean, it is lacklustre considering that City are there fucking going for fucking records. They've already broken several records this season. They will become the Centurions should they win their final match with 100 points. Never been done before, even in the 32-game seasons back in the day. Never been done. What an achievement. Also, they will win the league, I think, by 19 points or something, or the biggest ever margin between first and second ever against Manchester United. That will be a piss take for United. And you just drew today because you didn't give a fuck.
But have you
give a fuck about them records? Fans care. Why don't United?
No, it's a very good point, man. I think some of the players out there got a lot of questions to freaking answer, especially the likes of Paul Pogba. You know, it's like another game where he just seems to not really give a shit. He's so nonchalant, that bloke. He looks so he's dilly-dallies on the ball so much. But
so who are you talking about, Pogba?
Pogba, yeah.
Did you see Noble with his hands on Pogba's head? Like Noble had won a trophy or something. I think it's that gloss that Pogba's put on the top of his hair. Noble's getting on now, and he's blind. You think, fucking hell, I want something. That's what happened. Got a bit heated, didn't it, tonight? Jeez.
What does the Pogba trophy symbolise? What achievement is that? The biggest twat? You get a Paul Pogba trophy? Do you know what I mean? No, I don't know if you saw what happened with his brother the other day.
90 million piece of turd. That's the actual trophy. It's a piece of turd encrusted in gold.
Mate, did you see his brother the other day, man? Brother.
Pogba's brother.
Pogba's brother. Yeah, plays in.
What's his name?
I forget now.
Saul.
No, he's played against Paul Pogba before though. When we played them in the Europa League. Shit, what is his name?
Saul Pogba.
Somebody will tell me. Saul Pogba.
That'd be good though.
That's not it.
Paul and Saul.
Anyway, he got a lot of stick in the media the other day because basically his team are about to get relegated from League One, and all the substitutions have been used. And just right at the end of the game, there he walks off. He has a strut, takes his shirt off, walks off the pitch like he's done with the fucking game. When his team are trying to fight to get back into the game so they can stay in the fucking league. What does Pogba's brother do? He fucks off.
I thought you were going to tell me that he came on and just changed the face of it.
No,
won it
and the fans, understandably so, but not very happy with Pogba over there in France. So, it's just nonchalant attitude.
Brothers don't work. Are you up front for Swansea? Down, Carvajal's leaving. What a joke. Swansea, fucking hell. He comes in, they're doing well for it, but even I get excited. Even I get a bit of semi on. And now it's all over, innit? They're done. Swansea are done. Brilliant result for Mark Hughes yesterday. I had to touch on that.
Southampton, fair play.
Massive game. Massive. Mark Hughes was pretty much death row game for Mark Hughes, and he's already taken one team down. You know what I mean? He hasn't done particularly massively fantastic well in his career, although he's always managed to kind of leech around. He's just like one of these fucking parasites who manages to get from one dying club to another. They think that this leech or something will give them hope of survival, and no, it doesn't. But this time he's managed to do it somehow, isn't he? Fair play to Sparky.
Sparky, fair play. It sounds like you're a closet Southampton fan, mate.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. But do you know what I mean? You got a feel for the man. You can imagine how he felt, can't you, yesterday? That feeling of fuck, I've done it. My family gonna love it. It's gonna be good. Do you know what I mean?
Alex Rudd comments and says, "Good luck with your teams in the Champions League." Sad
we
gooner.
Made it. We have made
feel
it.
for you, Alex, mate. Bless you.
And okay, so if Chelsea finish fourth and Liverpool finish fifth, but then Liverpool win the Champions League, then Chelsea will still not get Champions League football. Is that correct?
I don't know, but why have you got your headphones around your neck like you're Paul Pogba or something in a post-match interview, mate? You look like a twat, mate. You look like a twat, mate.
I'm on the alcohol. I walked around. I was listening to the game, and I like to listen to audio with good quality. Maybe unlike some, I don't know what you listen to. You know what I mean? Would you walk around some fucking boombox or something?
That's fine, but I don't just leave them round my neck for the whole time, mate. Because you look like a twat, mate. What, you on a school trip right now? You wearing a backpack?
You're telling me that I look like a twat.
Well,
and I'm always such the nice, humble guy that sits here and never comments on your looks, mate. Never.
Definitely. You got headphones on round your neck, mate. We're trying to do a freaking live podcast
you started
here,
it with a fucking 80s fucking theme the other day when you did a podcast in your bed. With your headrest that looks like this from the 80s.
Oh, nice one. You can read comments, can't you? That's somebody else's comment you've just taken there, mate.
Look, then, fuck it.
You're not going to come up with your original comments anymore. We're just going to read the comments that other people wrote and then say them.
That's all media is, mate. Rehash shit. Yeah.
You can tell Henry's feeling a little bit brave tonight, can't you? He's had a few beers, they're kicking in, he's still down in the Heinekens. His bollocks are growing.
I'm going to have to go get it in a bit. Are you going to be all right with me
I
leaving
think
you on
I'll be
your own for a
okay,
little
mate.
bit?
I think I'll be okay,
Yeah?
You pisshead.
So apologies, guys. Right? It's been a couple of weeks. Do you know what's happened in the UK in the last couple of weeks? Weather has changed, guys, a little bit. And do you know what? When the weather's out, the sun's out. It's not like I don't care about football anymore, but I do other stuff. You know, the sun's out. Do you know what I mean? Got to mow the lawn, cunts. You know. So. Do you know what I mean? Apologies that tonight may not be such a focal sporting thing, but we're still going to talk about it. I watched the boxing the other day. Of course I did. Pissed out of my face. And, you know, we've done some other shit, haven't we, as well? Enjoying the sport. But I've been enjoying the beach, man. We are from Bournemouth. You will know we're a place near Bournemouth. And
Right.
it's been good. Have you been out and about? Have you been doing anything?
Ryan
Tell
Bolton.
the people.
Just working and stuff. That's why I've not really been able to do many videos recently. Henry, you've been trying to sort China out, haven't you? So you've not really been
I'm
around.
leaving
So we've
soon.
neglected you guys a little bit. Make the most of these couple of weeks coming up here, because Henry's actually leaving for China soon. So we're still going to continue to do this, aren't we? Or are you just going to stitch me up and neglect me as soon as you
You're going to
move?
be holding up an iPad or some shit, and there's going to be my face on there. We just hope that it's going to be able to transfer the same sort of chemistry that we got going on right now.
We'll be able to work something better than that out, mate. You just need to get on Google Hangouts over there, mate. I know the Chinese government
banned.
have got that shit on lockdown, but surely you can proxy it or do something. Surely there's some sort of an illegal network over there.
There is shit going on. I'll find
Come
out what I
on.
need to do, mate. The hen will arise like a phoenix.
But yeah, Ryan Bolton says Henry loves a beer, getting all boozy. He's definitely necking it tonight, isn't he? Alex Russ's boozy
about.
hen. Oh dear. He's on here making an exhibition of himself.
Who said that?
No, me, I said it. Frytastic69 says internet is proper shit in China, is it?
But there's more to life than internet, Freddie, whatever your name is. Do you know what I mean? You're watching us for a start, sad.
But anyway, to everybody who is tuned in live right now, watching us for this post-match reaction that's not really turned into a post-match reaction for the West Ham versus United game, thanks so much for tuning in. Do us a favour, actually, chuck us a like on this video right now. Hit that like
That
button.
guy just said I'm a legend. Sorry, mate. He ain't sad, mate. Bernard Hudson, fair play to you. Hudson River. Ooh.
He said you're a UK legend. Don't go to China, mate. Oh.
Ooh.
Well, he is going to China, so, you know, make the most of this while we can. It's around about the time of the World Cup you're going, yeah?
It is. What a shit time to go.
Shit
It's
time to go,
fucking
mate.
awful, isn't it? What was I thinking? But my life has just happened to pan out in such way.
So there you go. So make the most of it while you can. We'll try and do it as he's over there, but because of the shitty Chinese internet, as you say, and the fact that it's like a crazy sort of like, you know, oppressive government internet-wise, you know, they're like, no, you can't watch YouTube videos. You've got to watch our own shit. You have to watch Chinese state internet. Is that the case?
I don't know. All I can remember from last time.
WeChat?
You try
Who
and
the
go on
fuck's using
Facebook,
WeChat?
doesn't work. You try and, you know, and WhatsApp and stuff. I wasn't even into that when I was back there. But like, you know, going back now, I guess all that's closed down. So it's going to be tough, mate. But fuck it.
Mate, what are you going to do for Pornhub out there, mate?
Oh, mate. You know, there's going to be loads of women out there, mate. I'm going to a city of 14 million people.
Mate, you're married, mate.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, just imagine wank, innit? Walk through the streets, see lots of fit birds, go home, have a wank about them. I
Fuck.
wanted to read some of this. Oh yes, Alex Rudd said, "Are you going forever?" Well, it's kind of it forever. Although obviously I'll be, you know, hopefully I'll be on some bigger dollar out there, and then I'll be able to fly back as much as I want. We could do Pig in the Hen specials live and continue to try to do, you know, Pig in the Hens whilst I'm out there. We'll see what I can do, and hopefully, Alex, you could help us with some of the bringing us together, bridging the gap there. If you can do something like that.
It's a good point, actually. I think it was one of the Alexes actually suggested that I set up a Patreon page or account or something, which means that our subscribers can actually like give us a bit of support, like monthly direct debit out the account into the Flying Pig at United Fund to enable us to make more
I
videos.
should have brought the other Heineken up on it. I apologise. I need it. I'm getting a bit thirsty. So I'm going to go grab that. Are you able to appease the fans?
Yeah.
Maybe
Check
you
this
can have
out.
a little heart to heart about me leaving and how bad.
Yeah. You just go and get your hiney, mate. Go and get your
I'll take
hiney,
the
son.
headphones off. Will that make you happy?
I think that would make me
Headphones
happy.
off,
Yeah, you sort of look like Robin van Persie after a game,
Get rid
mate.
of them then. Let's get
You
rid of
know.
them. Can if I walk down with the microphone, will it follow me? No, it
You're
won't.
gonna take that off.
It ain't wireless, is it? Them super chats ain't been enough for that kind of shit.
Little message here from Alex Rudd. He says, I told you to set up a Patreon. I thought it was you, Alex Rudd. Oh, no, wait. Alex Rincon's also commented and said that was me who suggested it. Battle of the Alexes.
Battle of the Patreon. That sounds like a sick film fucking idea, doesn't it?
Like some sci-fi robot shit. It does sound like that, mate. Ryan Bolton, he comments, how's it going, Ryan? He says, live World Cup streams. Absolutely, we'll be doing as many of those as possible. Our most viewed video ever, actually, is a little video we did watching the England versus Iceland game. I enjoy watching all the World Cup games. I'll be covering as many as I possibly can, even if it's like Nigeria versus freaking, a team that's not even in it. I'll be doing a live match stream for it, hopefully, anyway. Also, my brother is coming over this summer from America. My brother Tom, I don't know if you've seen his channel, Pump University. He doesn't post anything on there, but he's coming over. He's been on the channel previously. He'll be watching games with me and stuff like that. Certainly, bare minimum, we'll be doing the England games and the big games, the big ties between certain sides in the World Cup group stages, all that sort of thing, right the lead up, or right the way up to the to the World Cup final. So, make sure you do keep a lookout for that on the channel this summer. It's not going to stop just because the Premier League season stopped. But, I mean, I must say, I'm just bored of the Premier League now because there's nothing left for us to achieve. Man City run away with it. Fair play to them. One of the best Premier League sides of all time. Nice one. Yeah, record breaking, all that shit. So they've basically run away with it this year. We've got the FA Cup and the World Cup to look forward to. When I say the World Cup to look forward to, from an England point of view, not so much, not feeling too confident going into this World Cup. But, if you get in the group stage, we win a few games, get through the latter stages, who knows what can happen? So that's when the excitement really starts to kick in. But I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be doing lots of World Cup related stuff on the channel. Hypera comments and says, get in my little pig, second place. That is people moaning about Mourinho. And yes, we'd like to see a little bit more entertaining attacking play, throughout the whole season. It happens here and there. A lot of the time, he's a very defensive manager, quite negative. Yeah, we get that. But he's still got us to another cup final, another opportunity to win a trophy this season. And he has got us the highest place we've finished since we had Sir Alex Ferguson in charge. So, I think he's done well. He's done well.
Fucking sucking his cock all the time. It's Chris Small cock. Why do you love it so much?
Because it's so small and dainty.
Why do I even laugh to that? No.
It's because you can relate, mate. It's because you can relate.
No, listen, right? Okay, so it's easy to say, he comes second. He's in the FA Cup final. United are doing okay. What's all the drama? The drama is that him and Pep Guardiola have been sat side by side for years now on pedestals. It's like, look at the two greatest managers in the world. You've got Messi and Ronaldo over there on the pedestals of best players, and then you've got these pedestals of best managers. And it's like, fuck. City have absolutely wiped the floor with you this season, playing much better football, spent similar amounts of money. Don't say that they spent too much more, because they ain't, right? It's like, it is an absolute calamitous failure from Jose's point of view, from United fans' point of view, considering that these two guys are supposed to... you would argue that United were doing shitter before, and it's been more difficult for Jose to go in there, whereas City have kind of been in and amongst it, haven't they, every season.
City have got a better squad. City had a better squad when Pep came in compared to when Jose came in. They spent just as much, if not more. And Pep Guardiola's done amazing there. They are one of the best Premier League teams we've ever seen since the modern era began in 92-93 season. So I think he deserves all the credit in the world. But it's more the fact that they were so good rather than us being so bad. We've still finished second. We finished shitloads of distance behind them.
It's like,
mate, how can you say this, mate? Football. You're talking about Mourinho, criticising Mourinho. Your manager's Pochettino is the ultimate bottler. Mourinho knocked that mug out in the semi-finals of the FA Cup and finished 2 places above that mug in the fucking Premier League.
We agreed we wouldn't talk about this.
He finished higher in the league.
You wonder why they weren't a pick of the head show last week, okay? I've come in tonight under the premise that this would not be spoken about. And you just decide,
It's a real key.
20 minutes in, just come to 20 minutes in, just bring it up that you knocked us out. Done.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
I think it's a key point, mate. It's a key point because you're criticising
Well
Mourinho.
done.
He's done better than
We've
Pochettino
spent
at
pennies in
Spurs.
comparison.
So what
He
about what
played
you
away
spent?
from home
Look at the squad
all
you've got.
Season.
Look at the squad you've got. It's a good squad.
Yeah, it's a good squad.
Capable of challenging if you've got a manager with any bollocks.
Top four for third consecutive season, fourth consecutive season.
Yeah, you have basically just taken over
We
Arsenal.
are-
You've replaced Arsenal as that Champions
We
League
are progressing.
frickin'
Best team
qualification
in London,
club.
Okay. Yes, we ain't won a trophy. I know it's fucking annoying.
And that's
It
because
grates
Arsenal
me.
are shit.
But give him time. We haven't gone backwards. If we finish fifth this season, I'd be happy to sit here and say I'm fucked off. I'm still a little bit fucked off. I was
We
hoping
can't
for
finish
more. I was
fifth
hoping
now.
for more. I got excited this season, but it is what it is. We're finished. It looks like we're going to finish third. If we finish third, fair play. Fair play. From City, best team ever, basically. And United, who've had a shit season, but it's because of the amount you've spent. That's what it comes down to. Pogba costs, what, half our team? Kind of thing. There's like half our first team players. It probably cost less than 90 million. Do you know
Fair
what I
enough,
mean?
but you've still got the quality in there, is what I'm saying. You know, whether they've come through the ranks like Harry Kane and players like Dele Alli and that sort of thing. They're still quality players you should still expect to achieve with those players at your disposal. Pochettino's having a mate. You can say what you want. He's like he's a bottler, mate. When it comes down to it, the big games, cup semi-finals, that sort of thing, when you've got to put in an ugly performance and win, he can't live up to it. Do you know what I mean?
Alex, for a little super chat, $2. That's the only reason I'm answering your question, because it's just a random one from you, isn't it? But who are your top 5 Premier League teams of all time? Premier League teams of all time. Quickly off the cuff, right, it's got to be Fergie's best days with
98-99 season potentially.
It's got to be Mourinho at Chelsea, record-breaking seasons at the time, absolutely phenomenal. John Terry, Lampard at their best.
Arsene Wenger
It's got to be
Invincibles.
Arsene Wenger Invincibles, of course. It's got to be Leicester just winning, considering what they had. I don't know what context you mean, Alex. Best, most impressive, surprised me teams of all time. Definitely Leicester. Maybe not the best Premier League winning side, but certainly, whoa, what the fuck? Leicester City won the Premier League. And then Manchester City. That makes my top 5 there. There we go.
Fair
That's my
enough.
answer.
2 Manchester United sides make it into my list, which would be the 98-99 team, the one where we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Sheringham, York and Cole up front there doing the business, and then probably the 2008 Manchester United side, which we had Cristiano Ronaldo and Carlos Tevez and Wayne Rooney. That was an absolute beast team. That would definitely be up there for me as well. And then, the Invincibles is another absolutely unbelievable team. Arsenal team, great back line. Bergkamp, Henry, unbelievable. All those sorts of players, fantastic era of a team. And then, Manchester City this season, they've got to be in there. And then I would say, I don't know, what about Chelsea last year, eh? Antonio Conte, he basically walked away with it last year.
It was pretty fucking
They
impressive.
fucking walked
It was
away with
very
it, man.
impressive, yeah.
So I think that's got to be up there. But
Antonio Conte and the other candidate.
Leicester City, for me, though, they do deserve a place in that list just because it's such an achievement for a club that size, really. So unexpected to be able to do that. So, they probably make the list as well. Fair play to you. Look at you vaping here, mate. You're just on camera vaping. Do you need that vape, do you?
I do. I need a nicotine hit.
Oh, fair play
Only
to you.
23 minutes in, do you know what I mean? I've been drinking.
Rasmus A. comments and says,
At least I ain't fagging it up here. You know what I mean? Keep your hat on.
2 defensive subs
not.
against West Ham in injury time. What do you think about this? Shit by
Hey.
Mourinho, pig. Yeah, I agree, man. I want to see a much more
basically,
flair
the
from...
massive thing-
He asked me, mate. He said pig, mate. He didn't say fucking Henry Hotspur, did he?
No.
Basically, I just think that he's too negative for his own good. In a game like that, we should be going all out to win. Who cares if we lose in the end? It's not the game doesn't really matter. Okay, finishing second, I suppose, is reasonably important. There is money at stake here and all that sort of thing. But we should have just fucking gone for it. And that stems from Jose
Do you
Mourinho's
know what I
negative,
noticed
man.
about today's game, right? Especially first half, good possession football from United. United look like the better team, as they should. It's good short passing. It looks good. It looks nice. It looks fair. But you just don't play off the player. You don't have the runners. It's not like City where they're pumping the balls forward for Sterling and Sane that are just off the shoulder of the defenders and they're fucking just absolutely ripping through West Ham like they did the other day. You don't get any of that with United. Not at all. You've got Sanchez, you've got fucking Lingard, that were kind of supposed to be playing in the attacking roles this evening, that kept hovering back, just want to get involved in the play. They ain't being runners. You need runners to win.
Even more reason.
It's true. That is true. Would you
Yeah,
not agree
well,
with
yeah,
that,
I think
though?
we-
Would you not agree with
we
every
don't-
single word I just said?
No. I wouldn't
You're
agree
a
with every
twat
single
then.
word you
You're
would
a
say,
twat
mate.
then. What did I say that was incorrect then, right there?
I don't know, a lot of it, mate.
Please, go on then.
A lot of
go
it.
On,
Don't
go
ca-
on,
I don't care to
expand then.
divulge,
How
mate.
was that wrong? Tell me how that's wrong.
Because basically you're just chatting shit, mate. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You're saying basically what we've got to do is feed balls into the last man or the last defender of the runners. Okay, well that's fucking
You need to-
amateur, isn't
Yes, but
it?
when
That's
you-
not what
bullshit.
City do.
No.
City pass it around, triangles, pass it around, fucking work their chances. Yes, they do that. They also whip balls in, they mix it up. So just to say that
fucking
you've
me
got to
off now,
fucking
mate.
Javier Hernandez it and just put a through ball into some kind of running through past the defender every time.
Now, when you've got excellent players like you do, players that have cost multi-millions worth of pounds, right? And you're up against West Ham, okay? West Ham, Rice, some 19-year-old nobody at back. Do you know what I mean? No offence, good young player, but you're Manchester United. You've got players like Alexis Sanchez with pace. You've got Rashford who didn't play. You've got Lingard with pace. These are the types of players that should be able to run off the defenders. You can't defend yourself when you've played a lackluster shit game like today, a boring fucking bullshit game where you've got I'm getting serious here, when you've got such good players that have got all that ability to be able to make something happen, and yet it doesn't happen, and you've got to kind of blame Mourinho for this, that he keeps this fucking, short passing, controlled game so fucking controlled, so anti-football, that it's fucking off the majority of the United fans out there right now, and I'm telling you that.
Nice one, mate. I was just playing devil's advocate, really. I agree with mostly what you're saying, to be fair. I mean, it is too negative for our own good. We've got all these attacking talents at our disposal. Why the fuck are we not playing like some full throttle attacking brand of football? Especially last couple of games of the fucking season where it doesn't even matter. Go for it, Jose. Fucking go for it, Jose. Look what happened after we went 2-0 down against Manchester City, where we fucking went for it. Our players who are attacking players, Sanchez, Pogba, Lukaku, all these, they did the fucking business, didn't they? Because they're the nuts. They're the nuts attacking. But we shackle those players. Jose shackles those players. And we play this negative
It's like a
defensive
slave drive,
system,
but,
man.
if you were to do a caricature or whatever the fuck it's called, or some comic book strip of the managers, what they're doing in their fictional comic book life, Mourinho is that slave driver there. He's got the whip out, and he ain't no Indiana Jones either. No, he is the fucking,
Indiana?
He is.
How
he
fucking
is
posh
whipping,
are you?
He's whipping these United backs, but not to go and do something special, just to carry on rowing. Carry on fucking rowing, that's all you're good for, you cunt. That's what it's like, and it never develops into something special. I don't know why. Why do I care?
You really care, don't you?
Because I've been drinking.
You really
I'm
fucking
not a
care,
talker,
mate.
I'm not a talker. No, it just annoys me. It annoys me that, any United fan can say they're happy with second. I would be proportionally fucked off if I was a United
It'd be
fan.
nice to
I would
challenge.
be.
I just think City have been so good this season. Second's still the best we've done for years. Second's still a progression. Second is still much better than Spurs, isn't it? Second is still better than
What, by
Spurs.
3 points you're going to end up,
Much better, isn't it?
Maximum 6 points.
Much better, isn't it? If it was 15 years ago, you wouldn't even be in the fucking Champions League, mate. Used to be the winners of the team that finished second. Do you
Not
know what I
much better.
mean?
We went into the penultimate.
You don't deserve to be there.
Yeah, it is the penultimate, isn't it? That's the correct use of the English language there, despite the amount of beers I've had. The penultimate game of the season, and it's still a possible chance that Spurs will finish second rather than you. You should not be in that position. It should have been closed off fucking weeks ago.
Mate.
United just haven't cared since the league's been over. Your players just haven't cared enough.
Mate, you never put your microphone back on.
Good point, yeah. If you even
What a
heard
fucking
I've said,
dickhead.
you heard what I said then.
He didn't even put his fucking microphone back on.
Hopefully I was audible enough.
To be fair, he's speaking so fucking loud. You can probably hear everything he says
I
anyway.
didn't put it on, wasn't it?
Apologies for that. Yeah, we've got a pretty buzzed up Henry Hosper here tonight. He's had a few beers and he's bang on the case, making some good points. I do think Manchester United play too negative. United should be a team all about entertaining the fans. We should basically be the Harlem Globetrotters of the Premier League, in my opinion. We should have one of the best squads and we should play one of the nicest styles of football. Sir Alex Ferguson did that for us. By and large, of course, there were times where you have to defend. So I don't think we should criticise Jose too much. Last season did us a treble, transitional season. This year's another transitional season. Let's judge Jose Mourinho on what he can do next year. He'll have a bit of money to spend in the summer, a couple players out, couple players in. It's 100% his squad then, do you know what I mean? He can then take all the responsibility. He can get what he wants out of the team. Pep Guardiola is going to have a job on his hands to replicate the form and the consistency and the amount of goals and the goal difference and everything that's absolutely incredible this year. He's going to have a tough job on his hands replicating that next season. If he can do fair play to him, I still don't think United will be able to compete with that. It's not like we can get to that level overnight, but I think City probably won't win as many games next year. They'll have more slip-ups, and if United win more games and have less slip-ups, then we could be challenging for the Championship, 100%.
I don't disagree with you at all, but if City were playing West Ham tonight, you wouldn't have got a 0-0. And that is the overriding issue. How many games have you got until the start of next season? What, one more Premier League game, an FA Cup final, and then after that, a couple of friendlies, and you're back in it. And it's kind of like you really need to look what you could do this summer. I mean, I don't know if it's the players, whether it's the manager, but things haven't been happy for United this season. And I don't know, you obviously sound optimistic, or you're basically just saying, let's pass the buck to next season. The buck of worrying.
I'm saying
pass it to next season.
I'm saying progression is all we can ask for. Since Fergie's left, all we've seen is Manchester United descend into the abyss. We had Moisey who had a mare, we had Van Gaal who had a mare. Okay, partnered with us and he'd won us an FA Cup. Great, but other than that, our league performance was just shocking. Champions League football in doubt. Jose Mourinho's come in. He won us the Europa League, which got us automatic qualification for the Champions League the following year, which we played in this year. Got to the quarters, did shy against Sevilla, bad campaign. But Premier League-wise and FA Cup-wise, he's got us through to the final of the FA Cup. We are second in the Premier League. That's a progression. It's better than last year. All I'm looking for is an improvement year on year. Now, okay, the style of football, you could say, is actually not as good as it was. It's more defensive, it's more negative, and that is a worry because United should be playing attacking football. It's the sort of team where, as I say, it should be like the Harlem Globetrotters, where we're trying to entertain the fans. There's lots of fans that go and watch Manchester United play, watch them on the telly all around the world. And we don't want to tune in to these shitty, drab 0-0 games against West Ham. Somebody commented earlier, I missed it, I meant to read it out, but they said, I turned it off after 60 minutes. It was just painful, couldn't watch it. And the fact of the matter is, I think a lot of people have that view because we tune in to watch an entertaining game of football. You'd probably be better off flicking over to fucking Burton Albion versus, Cheltenham in the fucking
But you know what
Johnson's
actually
Paint
happened
Trophy or
earlier
some
on?
shit.
Earlier on, we're just getting ready for the show and that, getting our makeup done, powder in our nose, etc. And it come up on the radio, because we had the radio one. Kevin Nolan, blah, 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 something's happened with Kevin Nolan. He shits his pants because he's still stuck in 2011, thinking Kevin Nolan's just popped one in for West Ham tonight. That's how boring the United game was. We were getting fucking excited about Charlton or some shit.
Yeah, we had an issue with the video stream, so we had to listen to the radio on a bit. I did shit it for a second when I went, Nolan smashed in a screamer from 30 yards out. It wasn't that game, luckily enough. But I was actually getting them confused with Mark Noble, who does play for West Ham. It just happened to be on that stream when we were looking for temporary radio coverage. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you can't blame you for sort of Kevin Nolan, West Ham. Do you know what I mean? If you ain't thinking, you could.
Yeah, that's
even
right.
it fooled me. I thought Kevin Nolan's still there. He's always been there. It's one of those, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just randomly, let's do like a... Who's your player of the season for Spurs this year, would you say?
For Tottenham Hotspur, I'd say
Eriksen?
I probably lean towards Christian Eriksen. I just think all round he's had his best Tottenham season for sure.
Yeah.
He's played every game that he's been fit for that when Poch has wanted him, and I don't blame him. He's been consistently, elegancy on legs.
I agree. Can't wait. Can't wait for us to sign him this summer. Luke Shaw going in the opposite direction. That's what I hear, mate. I heard it on the grapevine.
We might get Danny Rose for Luke Shaw,
maybe.
But I wouldn't fuck me off too much because obviously Poch doesn't. There's something not going off, isn't there? It just ain't quite right with Danny Rose and Poch because he ain't been playing him, and Danny Rose hasn't seen right since he come back from his injury.
Same with Mourinho and Luke Shaw. Is Luke Shaw ever really going to be in favour with Jose Mourinho? Maybe it would be best for his career, his international career, everything, if he did just, go and play for Tottenham. Tottenham would play
Basically,
him.
they're just swapping their bits on the side.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
left backs, left back in the motel or whatever, innit? They're swapping them.
for a season. Do you know what I mean? Try and excite things a little bit.
But that could happen. I mean, realistically, I don't think Manchester United would be able to sign somebody like Christian Eriksen or Dele Alli or Harry Kane unless Spurs didn't have Champions League football. So you've done well there. Spurs have done well. That's all they can really hope for, you know. They're not really expected to challenge for the Premier League or the FA Cup or these things, Champions League. They've had a good campaign by Spurs standards, had a bit of a run in the Champions League, finished top 4 in the Premier League, got to the FA Cup semi-finals. That's a decent season for Spurs. It really is. You know, I know it sounds a little bit condescending to say
It does.
that.
It does. Horrific. Shut your mouth, you can.
And that's exactly what the difference in ambition between the clubs shows, because Manchester United, we finished second. Even you as a Spurs fan are going, oh, you guys, you must not be happy with that. I wouldn't be happy with that. We spent that money. Yeah, well, we wouldn't be happy with that, no. But you're happy with fucking 4th in a semi-cup final appearance.
I'm not saying
months, and beating Real Madrid in the fucking Real Madrid
mate.
trophy.
At the start of the season, I told my fellow Spurs fan, who was a colleague of mine at the time, I've since changed jobs, but at the time, I said to him in the car, we were driving back from Milton Keynes, of all places. I won't get into the details of what we were up to in Milton Keynes. But anyway, we're driving back, and I say to him, we're listening to the radio, and I say to him, I say, as a Spurs fan, I'm demanding top 4 this season. I said that right at the start of the season, even before the season began. This is the summer of last year, okay? And I said, I demand, and he said, how can you demand it? He said, we can't demand it. All the other teams spend a lot much more money than us. Yes, we've been playing better football, etc., etc., etc. And I was like, nah, bollocks. We've been doing well. We've got some sick players at the moment. We've got a fucking fantastic manager. I, as a Spurs fan, am demanding top 4. That is what my bare minimum requirement for what I expect of Poch. And he's done that. So he is satisfied. If I was a chairman, if I was the Levy or whatever, I'd be satisfied. But I'm expecting more. So he's done his job, and he keeps his job. That's basically where I'm
Surely,
at
if you're a
with it.
Spurs fan, though, you want to be able to say, we are champions or something.
Of course we do.
2008
That's
fucking
why
League Cup.
it's just satisfactory.
They're
That's
poor,
what I
mate.
said. It's
I know, yeah.
adequate.
But it's not really adequate, though, is it? You're not even in the hunt for trophies. It's so disappointing.
What do you mean?
He's talking
we
about
lost
as a
in the
United fan being
semi-final to you.
disappointed.
You're in the
Yeah.
final now. What do you
I
mean
know.
we ain't in the hunt? We're in the last 4.
Can't even get
In
the
fact,
final, mate.
We done pretty decent in the Champions League, but we went out to Juventus.
You can't even get in the final, mate. Do you know what I mean? You're always a bridesmaid, never a bridesmaid.
Yeah, I know we
Tottenham
lost 8 in a
Hotspur.
row or something. That's a fucking horrific
I mean,
stat, isn't it, right there?
Alex Rudd comments here and says, I think Spurs underachieved. Spurs should have had a better record. How long has that current team been together? So true. Pochettino's done a real good job of sort of assembling that team and bringing some of the younger players through. And, you know, he has solidified them as a really good Premier League side. But like you say, I mean, they've got to be progressing. It's not like Spurs really have to go out there and sign loads of players and compete with United and compete with Chelsea and compete with City in terms of transfer budget spent and all that sort of thing. They don't really have to, because they've already got an incredible squad that's only going to get better, full of really good young talents and a real good mix. I mean, look at Spurs' back line. In my opinion, it's as good as any team in the Premier League. And they've got some incredible players, some world-class players, the likes of Harry Kane. I think Christian Eriksen's borderline. So I think you're right, Alex. I think they have underachieved a little bit, because I think they should be setting their sights on an actual trophy, doing a bit better, getting through to a final, perhaps even if it's a League Cup or whatever. That's what Spurs fans should be looking at.
There are question marks there. You say that we've got one of the best defences in the league, and I guess we have. Statistically, hasn't been that bad. But Ben Davies, he gets slated online, Twitter, etc. He is slated a lot of the time, you know. And is he quite at that calibre of a consistent top 4 challenging side? I don't know. Trippier, he's looked good. He's looked good for England as well. So hopefully he's got a brilliant career ahead of him. But remember, we sold Walker. And we got Trippier in. So he's like the next go-to person.
Yeah.
Aurier's come in. He's kind of looked a little bit hot and cold. Definitely a little bit erratic. And it's a concern. Is Lloris quite up to the standard? He ain't no De Gea, is he? Let's be honest. Lloris is susceptible to a couple of mistakes now and then. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not happy. I'm just happy. I've done one line of coke, not 2. You know, that's how I feel.
You make a good point. You do make a good point about, Kyle Walker going to Manchester City. And look how well he's done for City. He's a big player in the Premier League, one of the best right backs there is. So the fact that Spurs would actually sell him, okay, it's a great amount of money they got for him. I don't know if you can even turn that down for a right back defender, really. But they did let him go. Now, that is a sort of lack of ambition, if you ask me, from the board there, because you don't allow one of the best right backs in the league to go and join a rival, do you? No. You shouldn't do that, regardless of the money. Okay, there's a little bit of a dispute whether he's going to stay and continue to play 100% for the club, all that stuff. Maybe it's better to get rid of him. But it just goes to show you, though, Spurs are
definitely
always
helped
going to be
City
that
this
one
season.
step behind because they cannot keep hold of their best players. Just before they go and
can,
sign
we
another
can.
quality
We do
player,
keep hold of our
they're
best
going to
players.
sell. They're going to sell Harry Kane, or they're going to sell Eriksen, or they're going to sell Dele Alli, or somebody to Barcelona or whoever, wherever they go. And don't say your best players. Fucking Luka
not
Modric.
recently.
Fucking
Yeah, back in the
Gareth
day.
Bale.
Yeah, back
Gareth
in the
fucking
day.
Bale. Dimitar Berbatov.
This is like
Mate,
over 5 years ago.
Bale
You're
ain't-
still living in the
Bale ain't
past,
that
mate.
long
with
ago,
your
mate.
fucking 80s fucking headrest. You know what I mean?
Okay, Kyle
You know,
Walker. I'm living in the past now, mate. That was fucking last summer, mate.
I mean, you're
Kyle
still
Walker,
watching Gary
mate.
Lineker popping them in for Spurs, mate. That's the sort of like standard you're at.
David, you're
That's
not
the level you're at, mate.
No, that's a poor excuse, mate. You know that's true. Spurs are a selling club, mate. They are. They've always done it over the years.
Not
Michael
recently,
Carrick.
mate. If we were a selling club, Kane would have been gone by now. Eriksen would be gone by now. You know?
It could well happen this summer, man. Listen, if Real Madrid or Barcelona come knocking, Harry Kane's only got to look around at the club and say, ambition-wise, are Spurs there? I'm good enough to drag this team to compete. I am. But I need some players to help me do that. I need more world-class quality players to do that. And I need a team who's not going to sell the top quality players that we have. Why do you think Robin van Persie left Arsenal? Is it because he hates Arsenal and he loves Manchester United? And he doesn't want to play for Wenger anymore, wants to play for Fergie. There's an element in that there. But no, it's because he fucking loved Arsenal. I'm sure he did, but he wanted the opportunity
it's different.
to win the
You
Premier
know,
League
Van
and compete.
Persie
And
and
players like
Arsenal,
Harry
it's
Kane,
different.
players like Harry Kane, I'm sorry, Henry, are too good not to challenge for trophies. And there'll come a point in his career, whether it's this season, next season, or in 5 years' time, where he goes, fuck this bunch of jobber-knock twats. I'm out of here. I'm going to go play for a real side. I'm going to win some trophies, actually have some sort of a legacy on my CV when I retire from this fucking beautiful game we call football, rather than sit around here with a bunch of mugs stinking up the place with effectively mid-table mediocrity. Every year, okay, it's not mid-table, but you know what I mean? First to mid-table mediocrity every single year. If they're not fourth to fifth, if they're not fifth to sixth. That's basically the best they can fucking hope for, Spurs. So if I'm Harry Kane, I'm sorry, if I'm Dele Alli, if I'm Eriksen, if I'm any of those quality players, I'm doing exactly what Gary Bale did. I'm looking at Gary Bale's record, I'm looking at all the trophies he's won, I'm looking at the Copa del Reys, the La Ligas, the Champions Leagues that he's won over in Spain for Real Madrid, and I'm thinking, I want a bit of that. I don't want a bit of finishing fourth
You're
and having a
talking
shit
shit, mate.
argy manager
You're
who's
talking
too much of a
shit,
bottle job to
mate.
get this club to a final, and having a bullshit chairman who sells our best freaking right back in the Premier League to our rivals.
Mate, you don't know what you're talking about, mate. You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. It's true.
The margin's what? We've scored, 2 less goals than you this season? Yeah, the goal difference is you
And you have to go ask about being too negative.
We're going to be massive, like, at most 6 points behind you, 3. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're talking about big clubs. You're talking about Harry Kane should go to United or whatever. It's like, nah, because Kane goes to United. Does he definitely get
didn't
straight?
say United, mate. I didn't say United.
Or United are one of those teams that
I
buys
said
all the players,
Barcelona
has got
or
the
Real
money.
Madrid. That's what I said.
Okay, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
That's much
okay.
more realistic because you wouldn't think Spurs would want to sell him to a Premier League rival. They want to see him go abroad. But then again, they sold Kyle Walker, they sold Berbatov, they sold Carrick.
Why would he go
Because they're a bunch of
abroad
monks.
when his family's here? He's making money he's happy with. He's playing for the club that he loves. He's got Champions League football again next season with Spurs. He's won 2 golden boots out of 3, unless he could score shitloads this last game of the season and beat fucking Salah of Liverpool. I think it's now 3 goals ahead. Unlikely, but he's been in the mix, isn't he? He's loving life at Tottenham. Why leave? Why risk his pedigree with if he has a shit season or something? I can understand. It's time to move on. It's time for change. But I think we're just getting started with Harry Kane. Just getting started with him.
He
at
is
Tottenham.
supposed to be a Tottenham fan, even though I've seen pictures of him as a lad wearing an Arsenal shirt. Don't know if you've seen that, but it happened. Harry Kane, but yeah, no, I think you're sort of wrong, mate. I do. I think there'll come a point in time where that's not good enough for him. He should go down in the pantheon of greats in the Premier League.
It's all dependent on how Tottenham are getting on.
Does he want to be Steven
Gerrard?
Gerrard?
As long
Do you know
as
what I
we
mean?
get Champions League football and as long as we look like we're competing for trophies, then that's as most he can hope for. No one knows how the dice are going to roll when you get into these semi-finals and these finals. Yes, statistically, and yes, managerially, you could kind of say, looking through the history books, yeah, United are more likely to do better, Chelsea are more likely to do better. But would Harry Kane rather start winning these trophies for Tottenham Hotspur? That would mean so much more to him if it's true in his heart, if his heart is white. That's all I'm saying,
It
mate.
would. I'm sure Harry Kane would much rather stay at Tottenham and have them challenge for everything, have the board back up the ambition that he probably has, and sign top quality players and keep hold of their best
Which
players,
we
which they've
are.
not done. No, they've not done that, mate. They've got rid
but
of
we're
Carl
doing it
Walker
now.
there. Oh yeah, you're going to start doing
Carl
that, are you?
Walker, big deal. We signed players as well.
Yeah, okay, but I think Carl Walker is, he's a tough player to replace. Trippier's done a great job this season, actually. I think he's really good. But he's still not quite as good as Carl Walker, is he? Look at Carl Walker for Man City. He's had a really good season.
Different.
As everybody
Both
else
seem to be
has.
getting in the England team at the moment.
Yeah, fair
Southgate
enough.
likes him. Bag on head job. He likes him.
No, fair enough. I just think that maybe Harry Kane would, maybe not now, but in a couple of years, if this continues, if they continue to fall at not even the last hurdle, but fall at like the second or the third last hurdle, then he might just have to look elsewhere to greener pastures to see if he can win some trophies. Now, maybe he won't go to Barcelona or Real Madrid. Maybe he does want to stay in the Premier League because you know what? He wants Alan Shearer's record. He wants to go down as the Premier League goal scoring legend of all time, which he can do, actually. If you look at his record, his age, he's still young. He could do that. He's one of the only players that's ever really even looked like getting close to Alan Shearer's record. He could be a Premier League great. But is he going to be one of those players like a Steven Gerrard who's a real loyal to one club that just underachieves and never really challenges for the Premier League? At least that Steven Gerrard won the Champions League, though. That's what I'm saying. Harry Kane's not even had the opportunity to do anything near that with Spurs because Pochettino's a melter. Spurs' board don't have the ambition. And they're just a small club.
off.
They're just a small club.
You just like rustling up this shit. You know, you just like to wrap up these little conversations with Spurs is shit. Fuck off. We're just moving into a brand new stadium. We secured Champions League football, playing at Wembley all season, which is surely not a good thing for any team just to not have a home all season and secure top four.
No.
With a less of
You
a
make a good
budget
point.
than other teams. You know,
You make a good
what
point,
we need is
yeah.
Gareth Bale back, right? I'm not being funny. Don't get me wrong. I love Son, of course I do, right? But I'd have Kane with Bale, Ali, and Eriksen behind. I would. That's the sort of team that we could possibly be looking at. Gunshi with a sensational donation of 500
Thank you, Gunshi. How you doing,
Taiwanese
buddy?
dollars. And I was telling you about the Chinese RMB earlier. So who knows? Maybe that now is worth shitloads. Could be.
Do you want to read this comment out, Hannah? Is your vision impaired or?
Fellas, I took my heavy-duty pain medication an hour ago. So right now I'm a bit dopey. Don't worry, I'm dopey too, man.
Not the only one.
Can you... I said it first. See, who's more dopey then? Who was quicker? Can't. Bit dopey to say the least. I'm going to bed, gone 5 a.m. here, but I'll watch the whole thing properly again tomorrow. Good to see you guys again. It's very personal, isn't it? And he's shared
Top
that with he's donated, he's shared that with the rest of you viewers. That's from the heart. That is some real love for the pig and the hen there.
Thank
Fair
you
play
very
to
much,
you,
there,
Gunshi.
Gunshi, for your super chat. You're
Massive
absolute
love
legend.
there.
I hope you feel better, man. Said he's on some heavy-duty pain medication. Actually, sounds pretty good.
Kind of
He's
sounds
getting a
like
bit
our
dopey.
life, though. I mean, I don't know what you're on, whether it's legal or not, but do you know what I mean? Fucking hell.
We're all
Everybody
dosed up
needs
on something, do you know what I mean?
Definitely dosed, mate. I would not be doing this undosed. Although I might do when I'm in China because I'll have no choice, will I? I'll be all straight-laced out there, changing lifestyle and that. That's the idea.
Once again, to everybody tuning in here, thanks so much for stopping by. Chuck a like on this video. If you've never actually tuned into the Pig and the Hen show, we'll just give you a little breakdown about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do podcasts, football-related videos every now and then. I'll try and do more. I have been slacking a little bit recently, as I say, work issues and that sort of thing. But we just banter, we just chat, we have these little arguments, little banter going on here. Henry's usually quite meek and timid, but because he's had about 5 or 6 beers, he reckons
shut
he's
your
Billy
mouth.
Big Bollocks all of a sudden.
Go back and watch other videos because bollocks are meek.
Yeah, he reckons
Fuck
he's
off,
Billy-
I'm meek. You know what I mean? He's trying to mug me off because I've had a few beers. It's all just...
You're fucking meek,
I'm gonna
mate.
smash this guitar, this acoustic guitar that's missing a string. It's going to be missing a few more strings or something at the end of the night, mate. Smash over the head a couple of times.
Did you not like that, mate?
See how intact them strings will be.
Listen, just because you're a sort of introvert, meek person doesn't mean you have to put on this bravado, this display, try and turn yourself into something you're not.
I have to
Just winding
applaud
you
you
up, mate.
on your use of the
On your
English
bets.
language there and that. That was eloquent. There. Very eloquent.
Gungshi says legally prescribed morphine and oxycodone. I don't know what the latter one is, but that sounds like some heavy duty
I'll tell
shit,
you what,
Gungshi, to be fair.
morphine, did you know that is heroin?
Morphine, yes.
That is heroin.
Medical grade heroin,
it's
isn't
medical
it?
grade heroin, but it's derived from similar
Did you have that when you broke your leg?
I had Oromorph, which is I don't
right.
think it's proper morphine, but it's you drink the shit. You know, it's easy. And I was pressing the buzzer continuously, you know, in the hospital, just saying I need more. I'm in so much pain now. So I need more Oromorph. And I was in pain, but I didn't really need it. I just fancied more because I thought, fuck it, I'm watching. What was I watching? I was watching Apocalypse Now. you know, what a fantastic film to watch when you're just fucking, you know, in there. You know, I got fucked on Oromorph and I was there in Vietnam. I was like, yeah, I'm one of the fucking, do you know what I mean? Like wounded it. You know what I mean? That was a space. That was epic. I enjoyed that shit. Yeah, Oromorph, mate.
Fair play.
Proper
So yeah.
morphine, I think that is administered differently, and yeah. No, I have had another experience with morphine because obviously with the same ankle injury, basically I broke my ankle badly back in the day, but it's basically hanging off kind of thing.
Absolutely horrendous.
But I remember waking up from the operation. Obviously they put like loads. Attractive or anything. I'm sure you're interested. I can't really remember, to be fair, but I remember.
Let's just say that she was.
I was taking her hand and I was kissing it. I was kissing her hand like
serious?
that. I was like, thank you so much, thank you so much. You know, I was high as fuck, man. It must have been the morphine. I was so happy that I'd woken up. So I guess I do have this kind of fear of, it's, you know, it almost scares me more. I don't care about the pain, but just the idea of being put to sleep, which obviously happened at that time. It's a weird thing. Weird thing being put down, innit? Someone's putting you down. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that shit.
Gungshi says, good night, guys. Good night, Gungshi. Hope you feel better, man. Yeah.
Sweet dreams, Gunshi. Sweet dreams.
Good to see you, mate. Make sure you do stop by, check the rest of the podcast out. Alex Rudd says, check your Twitter. Do you think Liverpool will bottom the final Champions League spot? I can't actually check my Twitter at the moment because I'm streaming on here.
It would be so Klopp, though, to lose the Champions League final and to miss out on Champions League. Then suddenly it went from Liverpool pretty much having almost a more impressive season than City, just to come out and win the Champions League to fifth, nothing. That would be abysmal.
Do you know what I think is going to happen? Liverpool have got the opportunity and the ability on their day to beat Real Madrid in the final of the Champions League. They absolutely do. They've shown that on the route to the Champions League final. They've torn teams apart. They've been very impressive attacking-wise. But they can also be got at. And the thing that Real Madrid are so good at is they are very clinical. You know, they've got players like Ronaldo, Benzema, that sort of thing, but they've also got really good defensive players. They're a good defensive unit, a much better defensive unit than Liverpool, in my opinion. So what I expect to see is a bit of like, rumble in the jungle. Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier, he's a beast. He's coming forward. He's throwing bombs. That's Klopp's Liverpool. They're throwing bombs left, right, and centre. But Muhammad Ali, aka Real Madrid, they're able to weather the storm, they're able to defend, they're able to rope a dope, and then they are able to put him down. And that's what I think is going to happen. Cristiano Ronaldo delivering the ultimate blows. He's going to score a couple in the final. That's my opinion. I think Real Madrid will have too much for them. Liverpool, I don't really want them to win it. You know, like the English team.
You almost said it, didn't you?
No, because they're an English team.
No. Pretty sure I remember the last video we did. I was rambling you about your secret love for Liverpool Reds. And he's just said it again, and you just said it. Rewind.
Mate,
rewind. Is this live? If they're watching right now, can they rewind a little bit?
Know.
Can they not just put it back
Maybe.
like 20 seconds, whatever the fuck it is? And you just said, I almost hope. Oh, no, I didn't mean to say it. That is what just happened. Yeah. That is what just happened. Just there, rewind.
That's just what happened.
Rewind, watch it. That happened.
Nice one, yeah. I was actually saying because they're an English team and I want to see English teams do well in the Champions League. It's been so many years since we've had English teams do well in the Champions League. But it's fucking Liverpool.
So if it was Chelsea, you'd be supporting them, is what you're saying?
More so. I would more so. The thing is, what I don't like about Liverpool is their fucking fans, mate, always giving it to fucking bigging about Istanbul and all this shit. And you've got 5 European Cups, mate, and Man United don't have as fucking much, do they? They don't. You know, that's what pisses me off. We've done them in the Premier League trophies tally, but they technically doing us in the European Cup tally. They've got 5, we've got 3, right? So that's a little bit disappointing. Now, would we ever hear the end of it from Liverpool fans who said, yes, but we've got fucking double the amount of Champions Leagues as you cunt? No, we've never lived that down. So I don't want them to win. I want Real Madrid to win. I want Ronaldo to deliver the blow. At least that's like an ex-United player delivering the axe. Do you know what I mean? The execution himself.
Bale get involved. Come on, Go on, Spurs. Go on.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, let's talk about
back to Spurs.
Let's talk about this. Reece Proctor says Wayne Rooney moving to US And Alex Ferguson says Wayne Rooney to DC United. I've heard about
Who
this.
cares, though?
DC United, big money
deal.
move, 12 million.
Rooney, who gives a fuck about Rooney these days?
Shut up, mate. He's a Premier League legend.
Who gives a fuck?
Whatever you say about him, he's a Premier
He's
League
going to
legend.
United just like Lampard did, just like Gerrard did, just like Beckham did, just like all the other fucking great players
It's
did.
a retirement home
well
for these
done,
players.
you know what I mean?
No, good luck to him, man. He's been a great Premier League player. He's a Premier League legend, whatever you say about him. England legend as well, all-time goal scorer for England. Don't be dissing
Why don't
Wayne
you just
Rooney,
come to
mate.
China? I'm going to China. Come to China with me. Come play for Guangzhou or whatever. You know what I mean? They'll pay more.
No, they probably
fucking
will.
pay more, probably, mate.
Yeah, but he can have a much nicer
Get
lifestyle, I
down
think.
with, Paolo Di Canio. It's not Paolo Di Canio, no, sorry. It's, what's his name? What's the Italian defender, 2006 captain?
Cannavaro.
Cannavaro. Fabio Cannavaro, manager of Guangzhou Evergrande. That's the team to play for, Rudy. Isn't it?
Fair
What the
play.
you do? They can add a zero, maybe 2 zeros to whatever fucking the US side are offering.
Yeah, but then he can't fucking access, the granny Pornhub section, can he,
Good
mate?
point.
He can't hit the granny
Good
section.
point, and he ain't into the Asian grannies.
No, seriously though, I mean, it's too much of a big cultural shock, I think, for Wayne Rooney to take his whole family there and everything as well. He's got 4 kids, you have to remember, who've been raised like fucking Scousers or whatever they are.
That's horrific. It sounds like there's some kind of
It's a
human or
huge
something.
culture shock. It's not like Wayne Rooney needs the money. It's not like he needs to go and play for Evergrande and get 600k a week, whereas he could just go and play for DC United. Bit more, they're obviously English speaking. It's a bit more similar to home, isn't it? The United States. It just is. A lot of similarities between England and the United States. A lot of differences as well.
Still get an American cheeseburger, but it just happens to be in America, so it's even better.
Exactly. I think he's going to suit the MLS. He'll absolutely tear it up in the MLS. Look at what Zlatan's doing over there. Wayne Rooney is a top player. And when he gets put in against those mugs in the MLS, okay, at least I've got a lot of American fans watching. No offence, but it's not up to the standard of the top European leagues. It's just not. When he gets put in, it will be like a cat amongst the pigeons. And he'll be ripping defences open. I'm telling you, he will, because he's a quality
He could do
player.
the same in China, couldn't he?
He absolutely could, but like I say, it's much further away. It's more of a cultural difference, and he's got
show
4
him the
kids,
ropes.
mate. Yeah, but he's got 4 kids that he has to consider as well, and not to mention, like I say, he doesn't really need the money. It's not like he has no money and he's just going to go there to get paid double the amount. For him, he would probably. He took a pay cut to go and play for Everton, effectively. So I'm pretty sure those aren't his motivations these days. He wants a nice, chilled-out time. Colleen and the kids want to have a nice old time in America.
Are they still together?
I think they are together, yeah. Wayne Rooney wants
she's been mugged off, hasn't she?
Wayne Rooney wants to sample some of America's delights, if you get me. While Colleen goes and spends at, Prada and Louis Vuitton and all this shit. She don't mind. She don't want to hear what Wayne's up to as long as she's freaking spending. So that's harsh. No, fair play to him. Good luck, Wayne Rooney. You're a Manchester United legend. You're an England legend. You're a Premier League legend. It might not be the most personal of the geezers. He might have made some mistakes in his career in his past. He might have, been a little bit of a brat at times when he played for Manchester United. But I, for one, personally thank him for his contribution to the club. All-time goal-scoring record for Manchester United belongs to Wayne Rooney. It doesn't belong to Bobby Charlton. It doesn't belong to Ryan Giggs. It doesn't belong to Eric Cantona. It doesn't belong to Andy Cole. It doesn't belong to Ruud van Nistelrooy. See where I'm going with this? No, it belongs to Wayne Winston Rooney. I don't know if that's his middle name, but if it is, that'd be good. So, it belongs to him.
Why would that be good?
Because it just makes a good
you're a
name.
Churchill fan.
It's a good
Is that
name.
what you're
Wayne
saying?
Winston Rooney. That's a fucking good name. Do you know what I mean?
WWR.
World War Runes.
That's it, man.
So, we haven't talked much about the West Ham versus United game. Not a whole much to talk about.
Are we going back to that? Is that was that
not
an all
going
an
back to it.
absolute
No.
divergent?
I'm just saying,
I
we've
thought we'd
run out of
left
shit to
that
talk about
millions
now.
of years
That's
ago,
what I'm
mate.
saying. I'm saying let's move on to another topic now, mate.
Well, we were supposed to do a live Pig in the Hen show for the boxing, weren't we? What happened there? What happened there? I think you decided to watch the boxing with another acquaintance. I didn't use the word friend because I don't know if we are friends.
didn't actually, mate.
But
You're
you
wrong
decided
there.
to watch the boxing with another acquaintance, and you had the audacity to not even do a pig in the other acquaintance show. Do you know what I mean? You see I'm bitter about this.
Yeah, no, it has been a while, guys. Really sorry about that. Like I say, working life, everything getting in the way. You guys need to support the channel. Help us out a little bit. If we get more views, more likes, more freaking interactions.
I think they're trying their best.
Yeah, well, you know,
I mean,
try a little bit harder, yeah?
You sat there saying, "Oh, give us more likes, subscribe to the channel." Do you know what I mean? Give them some content. Get your willy out or something. Do something.
Try a bit harder, lads, and so will I. That's what I'm saying. No, you've got a valid point, mate. Putting out like one video a fortnight, it's not going to get the job done, is it? And it's a shit video like
random
this.
time, nobody knows when it's going to be. We're such divas, aren't we? We just act like you
I
can
know.
follow us. Do you know what I mean? You get
know,
ready for us
and
to
there's
sit there
there's a
and
strange
wait for the
vibe.
Big of the Hen show to appear. You know what I mean?
And there's a weird vibe about the video tonight. You know, Henry's bitter. I can feel the resentment coming off him because of that whole
that
FA
50
Cup
quid,
stuff.
isn't it? That's what it is. And the
Yeah,
FA Cup
well,
and
you
everything.
know, you've got to
Basically, between
settle up your debts,
between
mate.
United and Spurs, you have just done better than us, and that fucks me off. It's so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
well
well, it
done.
fucked me off last
well
year,
done,
mate.
but at the same time, we are massive underdogs compared to you in terms of the totality of it. So fuck you. Do you know what I mean?
So
At least
did
we've
you-
been right up there with you, haven't we?
Did you not win the bet last year, though, Hen? This is the thing.
Yeah,
At the
I
end of the
did,
day,
yeah.
all you're doing is setting up, going back to zero. It's not like you've lost anything, is it, over these last couple of years? No. You've just broken even, which is not the worst thing in the world, is it, really, when you're putting all your faith in Spurs finishing above United? You want to count your chickens, count yourself lucky that Spurs ever did that.
Well, I don't know. It's just
Cut your
kind of wait
chickens.
till next season now, isn't it? Fuck the football. It's boring, isn't it? What about the boxing? Let's talk about the boxing. Because we were supposed to do, as we said.
Yeah,
you try to
I
avoid
don't
the
have much
subject
to, I
again.
don't really have much to say about it, man. I was disappointed with it,
I've
man.
got quite a lot to say.
David Hay, you've had a fucking calamity.
I enjoyed it more than the Joshua fight. I did.
Which Joshua fight?
The Joshua fight against Parker.
Yeah, I did too,
Because
yeah.
that was just a boring matchup
Yeah.
in the end. I know we try to get as
Do you know
excited
what,
about
though?
as
Let
we
me just
could.
say this, Hen.
Boring.
I personally think David Hay was a real high-level boxer back in the day.
Yes.
Quality.
Yes.
And 5 years ago, 6 years ago, he walks through Tony Bellew. But I
Yes.
personally think he's accumulated a lot of injuries.
Yes.
If you look at the start of that fight, he's putting all the weight on his front foot. He's not putting the weight on his back foot, where all the power can come from, which is, of course, is what you would have to do to put any
It's because
power.
he's already hurt it, isn't he, at that point?
Exactly. It's like the first round, he's already broken down. He's already carrying an injury from before the fight. So his opportunity to actually go out there 100% and challenge Tony Bellew.
His footwork was fucked, was it? From
No. The first fight, he was winning the first 4, 5, 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Just listen to me, for fuck's sake.
Are you talking about the first fight or this fight?
I was talking about the second fight, then you brought up the first fight.
sorry, you're confusing
Listen,
the
the
fuck
first
out of me.
fight, everybody knows, first fight, David Hay was winning, then he's done his Achilles in, he's
Yeah.
injured, he's standing on one leg effectively, and Tony
Okay.
Bellew, I say picks him apart, but he's just hitting a man on one leg there, and he still couldn't put him away, right? Second fight, there's no doubt about it, Tony Bellew at this moment in time is better than David Hay, because David Hay, in my opinion, started that fight with an injury. He didn't look right, his weight was not, you know, balanced the way it should be for a boxer like that. He had a lot of the weight on his front foot. You can't get the power, you can't get the snap. You just cannot get the same leverage into a shot if it's not coming all the way from the back. And that's what David Hay was doing. He looked like he had already had some sort of an ankle injury or something prior to the fight. And if you're stepping in there against Tony Bellew, who did look in good physical condition, then you're going to have some trouble. And I think even 100% fit David Hay right now would beat Tony Bellew, but I just don't think he could ever get to 100% fitness again. I don't
Really?
think he can get to 100% fitness again.
no, but
His
what you're
body
saying-
is breaking down.
you're sat here
He's
that-
always going to be injured.
It's not fit to do. What you're saying is not about his age. What you're saying is if his body was fit, 100% fit, he would have won. Is
That's
that
what
you're
I
saying?
think, yeah.
I disagree.
Well,
Well, there's more to it than
He's
that.
a better
You can
boxer than
see
Tony Bellew.
He is a better boxer, but his reflexes just weren't there. For me, my
That's what I mean.
my
It's a physical breakdown, man.
my opinion of the fight, watching that fight, okay, is that he was fine the first round. He was okay. He wasn't just on one foot. That became
That's not what I said.
noticeable.
No, I said he looked like he had a lot of weight on the front foot. It's not like in the first fight when he's flopping around and stuff. But I'm just saying he wasn't 100%. That's my opinion.
From the word go?
From the word go, I thought he looked like he was carrying an injury going into
I
that
think
fight.
he was okay first round. I think he looked
Well-
okay first round. I think after a couple
And
of
then
rounds,
what happened second round?
He gets knocked down. He hurts himself. You could see the the face of the man. You could see he knew it had gone again, and then he was fucked. And he was, but he looked
Trouble is, he looked second best before that. So what you're trying to say that is because he was carrying an injury, but he would have been okay if he was fully fit. I don't agree with that. I think Bellew would have had him regardless of a fully fit Hay. I think it just went to show that the age, it's just got to
He's
say
only
he just doesn't
37,
have the
mate.
reflex. He doesn't have the speed that he once did.
I disagree because he's been a very very good boxer in terms of both at cruiserweight and heavyweight. The power that man has is unreal. He only needs to connect with one big shot to end a fight. We know that. He's an unbelievable power puncher. But the problem is his body is just not able to withstand a training camp. It's not able to withstand all this sparring sessions. It's not able to withstand the actual fight. Look at the first fight he had against Tony Bellew. He was doing great up until that Achilles injury, then gone to shit. Has he ever really recovered from that? He had to recuperate for months and months and months after surgery for that Achilles injury. He's had to have this training camp. If he picks up a knock, is he really going to, at this stage of his career, turn down a payday of millions and millions of pounds when he needs it? Do you know what I mean? Because he split with his missus and she took off his fucking money and all this stuff. He's trying to make money. That's all this was. It was a cash grab. He knew he's not 100%. He knows I'm not the fighter that I was 5 years ago, but I'm still maybe good enough to beat Tony Bellew. We found out that that's not the case. And I personally think it's all because David Hay, his body is just not optimum anymore. He probably had an injury in the training camp and it's carried over into the fight, and you can see that from the start. I'm only saying that because he didn't have his weight distributed properly for a freaking heavyweight boxer. He didn't. He's always got that weird sort of top-heavy style anyway. But he had most of his weight on his front foot again. I just don't get that. And the only thing I can take from that is that he had some sort of a complaint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll never know, will we? But I mean, just his post-match reaction, it was like, Hay knew that he lost to the better man. He said it. I don't think he would have said it with that much,
He would. I'll tell you why he would.
Humbleness.
No, I'll tell you why he would. Because David Hay is not a stupid man. He's also not the brightest man in the world. When he lost to Klitschko on that points decision, and he didn't really go for it, it was very disappointing. Klitschko's a tough prospect for anybody, but he didn't really go for it when he fought Klitschko, and every fan was gutted about that because we want to see him put it all on the line. He didn't, and after the fight, he goes, I got a bad toe, so I couldn't fire off properly because I've got a bad toe. And the crowd booed, everyone just took the piss out of him for years, saying, how's your toe, and all this stuff, because he said that after the fight.
I know,
and
not the
him
best thing
personally,
to say,
like
yeah.
Tony Bellew, the first time around, David Hay, probably on his mind is, I would have fucking destroyed you if I didn't rupture my Achilles during that fight. Because he won 4 out of the 5 first rounds in that first fight against Tony Bellew, who did. He was battering Tony Bellew in that fight. Not to say he would have gone on and won the fight. Who knows what happens in boxing. But up until the point where he got injured, he was winning that first fight against Tony Bellew. That tells you everything, really. I just think fit 100% optimum David Hay a couple of years ago, if his body can hold together for a training camp,
disagree with you.
would beat Tony Bellew because he's a better boxer.
What I don't like is the way that everybody just disregards Tony Bellew all the time. It's kind of like, why don't we just fuck it? Why don't we just get Bellew in with Joshua? Just so Joshua can absolutely batter the fuck out of Bellew, and then everybody can say, there we go, told you so. He ain't no technically gifted fucking top-class boxer. He's just, a
He doesn't belong in there with those guys.
A tear down. But let's just see it happen then. Fuck it.
He's not the same size as those guys. David Hay is a pumped-up cruiserweight, really. So is Tony Bellew. Is it really fair to go and take on a real heavyweight, not just a heavyweight like a David Hay who's put on the muscle, but I'm talking about a 6'6", 6'7", 6'5" Anthony Joshua, or a 6'9" Tyson Fury, or a 6'7" Deontay Wilder?
I think Bellew would have it for
fair?
the payout, though, wouldn't he?
Bellew, in my opinion, should do one of two things right now.
Deontay Wilder.
I don't think he's going to get the Tyson Fury fight, which he said he would do, and he has
Dillian
some
Whyte?
surprises for him. Dillian White's a good option, but in my opinion, Dillian Whyte would knock Tony Bellew the fuck out because he's got a lot more power. He's younger, he's more physical than Tony Bellew. But then Tony Bellew is right in what he says when he says he's got more heart than most people. He does. You can see that. He's got some serious heart, does Tony Bellew. So fair play to him. You can't discount that as a characteristic or an attribute going into a fight, because that can play a real part in it, just heart alone. But in terms of how he matches up against any other of the heavyweights, it's pretty damn bad. I think Joseph Parker would be a good fight. Him versus Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker's another one of those smaller heavyweights. He's on the small side, more technical. That'd be quite a technical fight, and I'd like to see that fight between Tony Bellew and Joseph Parker, and they can make that happen. And it does make sense for both of those guys. But then again, it's not really the draw of a fight or the big spectacle that Tony Bellew's looking for. He would have to step in there with somebody like an Anthony Joshua, somebody like a Wilder, somebody like a Tyson Fury, in order to get that real payday, in order to get that that big box office event. And
What about Conor McGregor? You know, that will attract a bit of attention, wouldn't it? Bellew McGregor? Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit more fair. I mean,
not gonna happen, mate.
wouldn't you love to watch that, though? Who
No.
would win that? Definitely Bellew, yeah? Bellew would,
What, in a
fucking,
boxing
would
match?
definitely beat him, yeah? 100%.
he's fucking
yeah?
twice the size of Conor
Actually,
McGregor,
sorry,
mate.
I do forget. McGregor's fucking small as fuck, isn't it?
Listen,
I'm
I'll tell you what,
talking Mayweather
Tony-
kind of size.
Tony
isn't it?
Bellew has said that he
Bullshit.
wants to fight an MMA fight against Michael Bisping, though.
Oh, okay.
He did say that at light
That's
heavyweight,
crazy, innit? Yeah.
205, but he would fight Michael Bisping in an MMA fight, not a boxing match, in an MMA fight, which I find laughable. I think
That's
Tony
laugh-
Bellew
that
would
is
get fucked
laughable.
up.
Bellew would get fucked
He'd
up,
get
yeah,
fucked
definitely.
up. Even though Bisping's not really known for his ground game, he still has a good level of jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. He would just take Bellew down. Why stand up and have a kickboxing match with Tony Bellew when he does have the ability to put you away because his specialty is boxing? No, Bisping's just going to take him down. His wrestling compared to Tony Bellew's wrestling would be 10 times better. So he'll take us down and have his way with him. It's all talk from Tony Bellew. And this is what I mean. Tony Bellew's not stupid. He keeps his name in the headlines. He's saying, oh yeah, I'd batter Tyson Fury. Everybody writes me off because I'm half the size of him. But I give Tyson Fury problems. I think I could knock Tyson Fury out. That's what Tony Bellew said. And if we're being honest now, most of us look at that and go, yeah, you're never really going to knock Tyson Fury out because he's so big and rangy and he is skilled. He's got good movement for a big man. It would be unfair to put him in the ring with Tyson Fury. I'm sure Tyson Fury is looking at that fight going, that's the fight I want right now. Because he doesn't want Joshua or Wilder right now because he's coming back from a long period out. He's just got fit again. He needs a warm-up fight. And I think Tony Bellew would be a cracking fight for him.
What I want to know is, has any kind of like really good boxer from a real low weight category had a matchup with someone from the heavyweights? Has that ever happened? I mean, okay, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Mayweather. If Mayweather's got the audacity, I love that word these days, isn't it? If he's got the audacity to have a matchup with McGregor, I mean, if we had Mayweather Joshua, I mean, a proper boxing match, both boxers, right? It's same rules, isn't it? It's fucking the same sport, isn't it? There ain't no freak show about it compared to the McGregor matchup. So, how far out is it? Don't laugh at me, guys. Don't laugh at me. It ain't no more far out than McGregor Mayweather, is it?
Floyd Mayweather's punches would just bounce off Anthony Joshua.
So
and
what
Anthony
you're saying is
Joshua could just
would
clothesline him to death.
Would Joshua just win in a round?
He would, yeah.
Like that.
He's too powerful. He just go for it. It's not like he's slow either, Joshua, really. Compared to Mayweather, he is. But all he needs to do is land one half shot, and Mayweather's down like a bag of shit.
It'd be such
That happens though, man. People don't. Roy Jones Jr. springs to mind in the 90s. Real good American boxer. I think he fought like 6 or 7 different weight categories all the way up to heavyweight, and he's not a big man. He's like a middle or like a welterweight natural, but he's fought all the way up to heavyweight and did well. So it does happen from time to time. David Hayes, another example, cruiserweight, gone to heavyweight.
But you know
did well.
Mayweather could be that good that is literally that Bruce Lee mentality. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He's literally just running circles around big heavy Joshua there. But big guns and that. But Mayweather's dodging him. He's dodging him. He gets to round 5, round 6, and then he's getting them little jabs in, and he's pissing Joshua off. And then Joshua, you make him look like a lumbering elephant by the end of the match. Is that possible? Could it happen?
No, mate.
Why not?
Because Floyd Mayweather's a great counterpuncher. He doesn't get hit, right?
Yes,
He's got
he
a
doesn't
brilliant
get hit,
guard.
so exactly, so he keeps running circles
No.
around Joshua.
Listen.
Fitter than Joshua.
Listen, Joshua punching even Mayweather's guard like that. It's not going to take many.
Instead of doing that, you've got to run. He's got to keep running around in circles.
He wouldn't be able to avoid him all that time, man. It'd literally have to it'd be like a game of chase. He'd have to just try and avoid him the whole time.
Would you not pay £100 to see that fight? Basically, it would be.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they do it though? Why don't they do that? Because that would be a massive.
It wouldn't be
payout,
sanctioned.
wouldn't it?
You'd never get sanctioned by the boxing commission.
Well, someone would
It's
have
not
to,
safe, man. You're putting a tiny little bloke in against an absolute man mountain. What do you think's going to happen? I don't know if you ever used to watch K1.
It's kind of Game of Thrones, isn't it? The mountain versus the Viper.
Like an
or whatever,
Oberyn.
isn't it? Yeah, something like that.
So did you ever used to watch K1?
No.
No, so there's this nutty guy called Ho Man Choi. You know that guy? Like some massive fucking 7-foot Asian kickboxer guy built like British
Right, yeah.
blue hair, yeah?
Yeah.
Fucking lunatic. And massive anyway. It's slow as fuck. Basically like how you would imagine him to be. Real slow, long. And he used to fight against like 130-pound people. And you should watch some of those fights, mate, because they are pretty insane. Obviously, the smaller guy has all the advantage in terms of the speed, the athleticism, all that sort of thing. Be able to get in and out really quickly. But all the big guy needs to do is just absorb these shots. The little guy can't do nothing, can't put them away.
I reckon you're all just saying this because you're just trying to get across the audience that you'd have me. That's what it's coming down to, isn't it?
Not at all, mate. I wasn't thinking that. Nobody needs to even think about that because everybody already knows that already. I mean, let's be serious, mate. It's not even fair. It'd be like kicking a puppy or something. How? What are you, 12 stone, freaking 5'7" or something? You're a little bitch, mate. I'm 6'2". I'm thinking 22 stone. Yeah, I need to lose some weight, but even so, that's a whole lot of fucking momentum.
All I'd have to do is just jog 200 yards down there. And
that's not, mate. You are ridiculously
me without collapsing on the floor like some
That's so not true. I could take you out there right now and run you all over the town, mate. You are one of the most unathletic people I've ever met. Don't try and act like you could do me in any sort of physical activity.
Look at the specimen right now. I have lost weight. I'm in physical shape. I know I'm on the beers. I've had a cheat day. Do you know what I mean? But to have a cheat day, that means you're fucking on it them other days, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying?
No, fair play to you, mate. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Shame we didn't have a quality game of football to watch tonight, just like Spurs didn't the other day when they lost to West Brom.
You lost to West Brom, didn't you?
We may have done.
We will have losing to West Brom. Talk about West Brom. What's his name again?
Relegated, though.
I need to know this guy's name. I keep forgetting. It's Day, is it? Day or something? Because he needs to keep his job. He has done nothing wrong. Go and talk about the football game. He has done absolutely nothing wrong since he's been West Brom. He gave them hope. If Southampton and Swansea had drawn yesterday, then West Brom would go into the last game of the season with still a hope of staying up. That's unbelievable, considering the Pardew poo fest that they had. Do you know what I mean? The absolute pull down from Pardew, isn't it? He's done a fantastic job. Let's check it out. West Brom manager. I should know this. Darren Moore. Let's get an image of this guy. And one thing I love about this guy, right? One thing I love about this guy, and it's never mentioned. I always hear it on the radio, right? And I guess because nobody needs to mention, because you know it if you're into football, right? But it comes up time and time again, and I want to bring it up that there is not enough black managers in the Premier League. There's just not enough black managers. Considering the amount of fantastic black players that there have been, there just ain't enough black managers, okay? And this guy's come in, and he's done absolutely fucking fantastic. And what fucks me off, in a way, is would he have had the chance if this situation hadn't arisen, where the West Brom have brought in these managers, they haven't done very well, and they've had to fuck them off, and they've just given this, what was he, a coach or something there? He's given this guy the chance, and he's fucking flying, isn't he? And he wouldn't have even had a fucking look in, not a shout at all. So I hope he keeps the job, and I hope he brings West Brom up next season. I was almost happy for them when they beat Spurs the other day, in a way, from a footballing fan way, because I thought fair play to the guys, you know what I mean? At least he needs to keep his job. He's done well. He's absolutely turned West Brom around, and it was too little too late in the end.
Fair play to you, man. I like your insight in that. Just want to read this comment from Host Disorder, mate, and also want to do this. Have some of that, mate. He says, Flying Pig knows how to dress to hide his obesity. To hide his obesity. Mate, you have piled the weight on. What happened? Mate, fuck you, man. Fuck you, Host Disorder, mate.
You even read that out. You've given him the privilege.
No, he's right, though. He's right, though. I do dress well to hide it, mate.
Host Disorder. So what is that? Is that like a pledge to him, is it? He's the host, is the disorder.
To be fair, I'm just a big lad, you know. I do need to strip down a few stone, but just a big lad. But yeah, I mean, certainly this sort of pattern helps to hide the old, Henry's wearing that. It's not very flattering, is it? I look more flattering.
You're not very flattering.
It's not very flattering, mate. Do you know what I mean? You look fatter than you actually are, whereas I look thinner than I actually am.
I guess so. That's true. But I ain't making an effort to look thin. I'm trying to beef up. I'm like fucking Bellew and you're Joshua, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I'm Tyson Fury, mate, trying to shed those pounds. Anyway, I think maybe we should wrap it up soon because Alex Rudd says you guys are breaking up and we're probably having all sorts of issues.
All I've heard from Rudd is like, no one's into boxing, lads, do you know what I mean, etc., etc. Maybe move on to the next subject. Well, maybe that's our problem. Maybe we're into things that other people aren't into. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone like boxing? Do you guys not like boxing?
No,
we should have we should have a vote. never talk about boxing again.
No,
but
we'll
we
just talk
love
about what we want, man.
boxing.
We'll talk about what we want.
Love
You know,
a
that's
bit
the
of
thing.
boxing. What do you like boxing? Man up. If you're not into boxing, get into it. Because that is the sport. I never was that into it earlier on in my life.
Robbie
okay?
Ray.
And it gets to the
Oh,
stage
fuck's
where
sake.
you think, actually, this shit is pretty good. It is pretty good.
Robbie Ray comments and says, "Stay on, lads. You barely upload for fuck's sake." Fair enough, man. We will try and remedy that very soon.
When's the last time you uploaded Robbie Ray? Do you know what I mean? Is that even how you say your last name? Rhea.
Jay
Robbie Rhea.
Harrod said, "You used to be smaller than me, mate." Yeah, all right, calm down, all right, you pricks. Everyone's having a go at me. What is this? A fucking intervention or something? So what? I like to eat? Is that such a fucking crime?
There we go. That's what we're hanging on for.
But anyway.
Wait, what time was it supposed to be, Alex?
But anyway, you know, seriously, I do need to sort myself out. You're right. I did used to be smaller than you fat prick. I did. But now I'm the fat prick, aren't I? I was 18 stone a couple of years ago. I'm 6'2". I'm pretty built. You know what I mean? I'm never going to be 12 stone like this. But I was leaner.
Mr. Harrod.
4 years ago, I was leaner, but now I've put the pile the weight
You must be
on.
a pretty fat fuck if you've ever been bigger than him. Do you know what I mean?
But no, I'm going to do something about it. Maybe I don't know. I don't really care. Do you know, I've just reached that stage of my life where I just don't give a shit. It's like me and the missus just have Chinese every other night and fucking Indians and shit like that. Of course, the point where I
actually
just
brought
want
him
to
a
eat
free.
shitloads
I brought him
of
some
food.
Chinese the other day because I thought, you know, he's all right sometimes and he's okay. I thought I'd feed him. Why not? Let's feed him for once. So I thought I'll rock up to my local Chinese. It ain't expensive. Do you know what I mean? I could afford that. You know, I'm on enough. The subscriptions and the donations do what we need. So I get him chicken balls. Right, egg fried rice. Obviously, you get sweet and sour sauce free with the chicken balls, don't you? That's all part of the package. What does he do? He pots it all onto a plate, all the chicken balls, all the rice, all the sauce sprayed over the top, just like, you know, just drizzled
how you
over.
do it?
And how long did it take you to eat it? It was literally like less than 5 minutes. It was a proper like.
I'm fucking
I
hungry,
think you
mate.
managed to eat you managed to speak to me as well during eating it. Managed to finish it all, and afterwards I was thinking, fucking hell, we should have got that on camera. Because that was something special.
I was hungry,
It
mate. To
was.
be fair, I did wolf
Very
that down. I was
impressive.
very hungry. Thank you for bringing me that food, mate, and thank you for having one
Sorted
of
you right
one
out,
of the
didn't it,
fucking
that?
chicken
Yeah.
balls out of the bag before you even got there, prick. Thank you very much for that, though, man. I really appreciate it.
Good. I'll bring it again, man. Yeah, we'll eat it live next time.
To be fair, you know, you've leaned down a bit these days, but you used to be a bit of a fat fucker, didn't you?
Well, I'm a yo-yo.
No, I used to remember you getting your old Indians in. This is a classic Henry
I had an
Hotspur
Indian-
thing, by
I
the
had
way.
an Indian
He'd
today.
get an Indian in, right? You'd have an Indian. He'd
got
have
an
a
Indian
fat,
today.
He'd have a fat off Indian, and then guess what? As soon as he's finished the Indian, what does he do? Packet of crisps. It's like, no, he doesn't have a dessert. He's just ingested a massive 2,000 calorie meal. Needs that
you
packet
got it
of crisps.
wrong.
Every single
you got it
fucking
wrong.
time,
I'd have
mate.
the crisps with the meal.
With the meal.
No, not afterwards. That ain't no fucking dessert, okay?
With the meal.
It's a side, yeah. Maybe they forgot the fucking poppadoms or something. At least you got something crispy to dip in that fucking mango chutney. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. So you just add the extra calories into that Indian. You know what I mean? Puff comments and says, "What is good, my dudes? What is good with you, son? Thank you so much for tuning in. We're actually coming to a close pretty much soon. We have been going for nearly 90 minutes now, which was what we try and keep the podcast length to. So I want to say, everybody who listens to this podcast on the podcast app or on iTunes or soundcloud.com/MrFlyingPigHD, make sure you do subscribe over to there so you can listen to the audio version of this podcast. A bit later on, I'll take the audio from this and I'll stick it on there. So maybe if you're just not able to watch this, or it's more convenient to you just to listen while you're driving or something, you can search Pig and the Hen Show on your podcast app, whichever app you use, and that should pop up with us, and you'll be able to listen to it over there.
Robbie Reyes, Pig/Hen Champions League. Are you watching? What we should do is the final. Let's say that is a date that we have certainly got in mind to do
We
a
should
show
do.
of. If we got any other massive
FA
events
Cup
coming
final.
up. So yeah, FA Cup final. I don't know if I want to get involved in that. It just pisses
No,
me
you
off.
don't have to get involved, mate.
Champions
It's fine.
League final. I mean, who are you supporting that night then? So you're going to be
Real Madrid.
You're a Madrid fan. You're
I
going to
am,
get the
yeah. I
Ronaldo
wanna-
shirt on.
I
and all
am,
that,
yeah. I want to see them win it 3 times in a row, which is no clubs ever managed to do. In the modern era, anyway.
In charge. I do like Zidane. Fair play to the guy. Do you know what I mean? That he's managed to win a couple of Champions Leagues. He's never even managed anyone before. Steven Gerrard. Let's finish. Let's
Yeah,
wrap up on
let's wrap up
Gerrard
on
at
Gerrard,
Rangers,
mate.
okay?
Slippy G.
See, I know what's going on in the world of football. I ain't been completely fucking under a stone yet. So Stevie G, okay, has he done, something special here, or is he Slippy G'd? That's the question. Is it a Slippy G, this one?
Mate, you are pissed up, aren't you?
Am I?
You seem pissed up, mate. Scale of 1 to 10. Tell me how much you think Henry's pissed up. Just want to know what you guys think. Or is it just me? Because I can smell the fucking
If
alcohol.
I am drunk, I've done fucking well, haven't I? Do you know what I mean? I've done well. Keep this going for an hour 20. Trying to pretend like I was a proper fucking broadcaster or some shit.
A lot of people. Faraz Hassan says 10. Alex Rudd 13. Robbie Rare 21.
That's good. That's a
SC
nice
Legend
high scores there, isn't it?
7.25.
That's good, isn't it? Is that good?
What did you say before that, though, man? Oh,
Remember,
Rangers.
mate.
Steve
Ask
Gerrard.
me. He's asking me.
No, listen,
He's saying I'm the one off my head. You're asking me what I just said.
It's a good move for Steven Gerrard because one day he is going to be Liverpool's manager. This is an opportunity for him to cut his teeth in management.
Whoa, massive
Just like I would want Ryan Giggs to do
Excuse
somewhere.
me, one day he's going to be Liverpool's manager. Who
yeah.
the fuck said that?
It's
How's
a
that
given.
going to happen?
It's a fucking given,
Who said
mate.
that's going to happen?
It's a given. He's gone into management. He's a Liverpool legend. One day he will be Liverpool's manager. And you know what about the Scottish League is he's not got any pressure there. He's not expected to really compete with Celtic. They don't have the financial clout to be able to do that right now. Celtic are just too much of an
You're
established
saying
club.
they're going to be happy as long as they get second?
Yeah,
this season?
that's what I'm saying.
Rangers ain't that
But-
sort of side.
but
Who are you to comment on the Scottish Premiership? Do you know what I mean? Who are you?
Well, I know a reasonable amount about the Scottish fucking Premiership,
What,
mate.
that Celtic seem to do best every year. But I bet you, if you
They
ask
don't
any
always, man.
Rangers fan,
Our Rangers
if they
used
are
to be the-
acceptant of just being second season upon season
Right
just
now.
because they got less money. I mean, maybe some of them with their heads screwed on might say that, but most of them ain't not got their heads screwed on. They will not be happy with that. They will not
Mate,
be happy. Any Rangers fan out there, tell me. Pig has basically said Gerrard could just slip EG right in there, get as long as he gets second or third. Oh, it's Steven Gerrard, let him off. Do you know what I mean? I think there's massive pressure. Massive.
There's no fucking pressure, mate.
Massive.
Celtic are expected to win. Steven Gerrard needs to go in there, finish second. He's absolutely fine. But the bonus is he has got the name. He has got some of the connections. If he's got investment, which apparently Rangers have got some new investment for him to be able to spend some money and compete. If he has got those things, then guess what? He might just be able to surprise a few people and knock Celtic off their perch for a year. Who knows? I doubt it.
Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, I doubt
reckon
it.
It's Brendan Rodgers' time for Arsenal.
No, Phil.
He's got to get out of Celtic. He's won, the last 3 seasons. hasn't he?
Invincibles.
I
Brendan
mean,
Rodgers Invincibles.
Stevie G's just come in. It's time for him to fucking, go somewhere
Anyway,
else, I
yeah.
reckon. Just in case Stevie G pulls out,
But anyway, this is what I was saying, Hen, is that Steven Gerrard potentially one day could be managing Liverpool. He's done the right
Which is
thing.
why he
He's
should
gone
stay
to a
at
Scottish
Liverpool.
Premiership, which is a good league to cut your teeth. Because it doesn't really mean jack shit. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more forgiving, especially if you're a team like Rangers. That's what Ryan Giggs should have done. He should have gone and got the managerial experience somewhere. Maybe not as an international manager. A club somewhere. See how it works day in, day out of the football club. Work at your game. Work at your
I
game.
reckon Giggsy will be fucked off that he didn't wait around for the Rangers job. It's sort of,
I don't-
They obviously support Liverpool at Rangers.
Giggsy wanted a better job than that, which I can understand, but at the same time, you're right when you say you've got to sort of go out there and earn it. And if Steven Gerrard goes there and say he finishes second with Rangers and does all right and challenges Celtic a little bit and does okay, all of a sudden, some of these Premier League teams will be looking at Steven Gerrard going, do you know what? He's got some experience there. He's a big name. He's done okay at Rangers. We've seen what he's done. We've seen the style of football he wants his teams to play, all that sort of shit. They might go, we'll just take a chance on Gerrard. But they wouldn't do that with Ryan Giggs, even though...
Joe Horan says, I wait for your videos and you're all about Liverpool. I do feel for you there, because I'm not a United fan. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about any Premier League side. But as a United fan, waiting for the pig to talk about United, and yeah, it's Liverpool, and it is.
Man, I'm getting fucking tired, man.
Steven Gerrard, okay. Let's see what he does. It's a risky one, but maybe you're right. Maybe it ain't too risky. I think there's massive pressure, though. This is just there's a massive rivalry up there. We don't understand how it works up there. They eat haggis and that. You know what I'm saying?
There, one side, that's it, is two clans split. Two clans split down the middle. One of them, they eat haggis. The other, deep fried Mars bars.
That's how
Who's going to come out on
That's
top?
how Gerrard starts his first tea talk when he's first introduced to the side.
He just needs to have that 2-litre bottle of Iron Brew before the sugar tax thing came in, just to say, proper Iron Brew. And he's got a haggis in the other hand. He's just fucking drinking his Iron Brew, eating his haggis, saying, I know the Scottish way. Are you ready to win the Scottish Premiership?
We've got a female in the house, Brittany Medlock. How's it going? She says hi. Thank you for getting involved, Brittany. You're a bit late to the game. We're going to be wrapping up soon.
Oh, baby, baby.
Same with Retro Umlin something or other. He says, evening, gents. Evening to you, too. A lot of people talking about Pogba here. Some people saying Pogba is awesome. Other people saying, asking me my opinion on Paul Pogba is lack of passion.
Interesting word, Pogba.
He's got a lack of passion, doesn't he?
You know what I saw earlier? I was driving past a bus stop and I saw there's some lanky lad, skinny. He looked about 16, kind of like just finished school, sort of kind of age, right? Don't worry, I wasn't perving on or nothing. I just saw this guy, okay? I'm innocent. But he had a Pogba shirt on, all right? And I ain't saying there's anything wrong with that, but these days I was like, whoa, he's full on Pogba, right? This guy's white, ginger. Doesn't matter where he's from, or you're entitled to wear whatever shirt you want. No issue with that. But it's just the fact I just don't see so many people wearing Pogba shirts these days. Do you see that? I don't see many people wearing United shirts in general like I did back in the day. Not with the same sort of pride, because you just don't play the exciting football. Pogba ain't scored 40 goals this season.
That's bullshit. But yeah, I think people who bought the Pogba shirt are probably a bit disappointed now. Really, because he's got no done to it.
Definitely.
And he has displayed a lack of passion, and he is very inconsistent. He is very hit and miss, and maybe it just runs in the Pogba family. Because look at his brother the other day, absolute calamity, let his whole team down. Paul Pogba, in my opinion, doesn't try hard enough. He's too nonchalant on the ball, and he's too hit and miss. Some games it looks like he's bang up for it, and he's ready to battle it out and fight and put his heart on the line. And other weeks it looks like he just can't be asked. He's more bothered about how his hair looks on camera and stuff like that, and working out what shitty dance he's going to do if he does somehow manage to Toby one into the back of the net. All I'm saying is sort your freaking self out, Paul Pogba. We want more passion. I want to see more drive. I want a bit of Roy Keane action in the centre of the park for Manchester United. That's what we've been missing.
He ain't going to be Roy Keane. He ain't the same player.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what we need. We don't need a Paul Pogba. We need a fucking Roy Keane. That's what I'm saying we need. Anyway, let's wrap it up because I'm getting pissed off, mate.
I know. It's come to an end. I mean, maybe it's come to a permanent end. Should we just... That's it. That's the end of the pig.
Let's just do one, mate. You're moving to China.
Bastard.
You're moving to China. Let's just forget about this friendship, mate. I'm not going to see you very often, am I? Fuck it.
What? You talking about friendship? I thought we were just talking about the show. What do you mean? What, you don't want to be my mate anymore? Are you serious?
You're moving to a different fucking country, mate.
Oh, is
different
that how you
time
are?
zone. That's how I am, mate. I'm cutting you out my life, mate. Cutting you out. And I ain't pasting you anywhere else. It's just cut
fucking denial, innit? You probably think too much of me, innit? You just can't handle to even know me anymore if I ain't in your life.
That's it. No, it's not. Anyway, no, I will miss you, man. Of course, you're one of my best friends, mate. I'm going to miss you over there, mate. 100%. You're moving to fucking China, mate. What an inconsiderate prick. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking discard all your friends, move to another fucking different country. What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I'm a cunt. Yeah. We all know that.
No, fair play to you, man. If you think it's, greener pastures over there for your family, I completely understand it.
But Ingram asked why China. I don't know where you live, Robert Ingram, but all I'm saying is, do you know what I mean? The economy's booming over there. I'm going to get minted. That's what I'm saying, Robert. I'm going to be fucking minted out there. Here, I ain't doing shit. I'm on the pick of the fucking end show. Do you know what I'm saying, mate? Fucking hell. Hell there, mate. You just wait and see, man. New show, everything, mate. Fuck this cunt.
Good luck to you, mate. That's it.
Right.
You're going to be China's version of the Flying Pig,
That's
mate.
it.
It's going to go over there and rip off my old gimmick.
I mean, as long as you're happy to upload my videos to your channel.
Awesome. Well, anyway, I think we should wrap it up there. Apologies to anybody that wants us to stick around a bit longer, and a couple of people have only just arrived. You're a bit late, so you have to wait until next time if you want to join in the live stream. We did get started late today. We were supposed to do it at the start of kickoff. Didn't happen.
It.
More towards the end of the game we got going, so sorry about that. Sorry about the lack of videos on the channel.
Sorry. So many apologies. Gunshi, if you're watching the rest of this video from the port that you cut off, you shouldn't have bothered. It's been shit, innit? Really, you probably watched the best bit when I was more excited. Now I'm just kind of fucking on a come down.
I know. I personally, I don't know if it's just funny old night, but this does seem like the shittest podcast we've ever done, mate.
Nah, don't be silly, mate. Shut your mouth.
Do you reckon? I reckon it is, mate.
Well, maybe.
Guys, rate the podcast. Is it gashtastic? Is it absolutely gashtastic?
I think
or is
you
it
are
satisfactory?
being, way too self-critical right now, honestly.
Robbie Rhea comments and says, "When's the next vid roughly lands?" It's a good question, mate.
Well, we usually say weekly. Might just think, fuck it, can't be fucked for half a week. That goes on to another extra half week, and then we think, fuck it, let's leave it to next week. And so it's usually kind of 2 weeks, until we feel
let's
we
get one
have
done
to
next
do
week,
one.
mate. Let's get one done next week anyway.
Now, we do apologise. The sun has been out. If you're UK-based, I'm sure you'd understand. There's been some... Well, I've been out and about. I don't know about this fucking cunt. But, I've been out and about. But yeah, no, we will be keeping it up. We will not forget about you guys. Thank you to some of our favourite listeners out there, Rincon, Gunshi, Rudd, the rest of you. Thank
Alex
you
Rudd.
for coming back time and time again. And please take care of yourselves. We need to get the call-ins going. I think certainly once I'm out in China, we could have
We'll be able to do that, yeah.
more,
Alex Rudd, he says you guys can't go out on this podcast because it's proper shite, basically. That's what he said
off.
there.
You know what I mean?
No, I think he's right. Robbie Rhea comments and says, "It's a legend podcast with you two. Thank you very much." Poff comments and says, 1,000 out of 10 stream. You're not really good at maths there, mate, but I appreciate it. SG Legend says, "Last 5 minutes has been gash. Didn't see the first half, hour and a half."
Thank you, So Legend. Oh no, sorry, it's SG Legend. You obviously think a bit much of yourself. What does SG stand for? Please, Slippy G. Slippy fucking G Legend.
Probably
Fuck
the
off.
guitar, isn't it,
Go
mate?
concentrate on Rangers and how you can make sure you get second to keep your job, you cunt.
Legend, you prick. Right, anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Pig and the Hen Show live match reaction for the West Ham versus United game, which finished 0-0, which wasn't really about that anyway. Probably because I've got pretty much an intoxicated Henry Hotspur here, and he just went on a massive fucking tangent straight away. What did you start talking about at the start of this video, mate?
I don't know what.
That's why
we need to end it so we can watch the beginning bit, because that's what we do. As soon as we finish it, we watch it from start to finish, and then go to sleep to it.
Right, anyway, thanks so much for getting involved. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. Follow us on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD and Henry_Hotspur. Thank you so much for getting involved, all of you, and your nice comments coming through here. Pov says bye. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Jay Harrod, I love you both, and you both are a lovely couple. Calm down, Jay. Anyway, Alex Rudd, Rincon, Gungshi, Jay Harrod, all you guys who tuned in, SG Legend, even Host Disorder, who was calling me an obese twat and all that stuff, even you, pal. Thank you so much for getting involved and making this podcast what it is, which is a bang average show of broadcasting.
Yeah, I mean, if something's happening, just kind of message us on the comments and just say, look, this event's happening. It don't have to be football. It could be like, the incarceration of some I don't know, Egyptian refugee or something. I don't know. Anything.
You know, you pulled that out of the bag.
Hot topic. I don't even know. That was just word mingling. But anything that you think that's worth us looking into, please do let us know, and we might just cover it if it takes our interest, if it tickles our ballsack.
Right, we'll leave it there with any more mentioning of tickling ball sacks. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're a bunch of legends. We'll see you very soon on Flying Pig and Out, and I'm going to try and make as many videos as I can now, because obviously the last couple of weeks I haven't made any, been busy with work and that sort of thing. Got a couple of evenings where I may be able to do some stuff, so I'm going to make a couple of little videos for the channel. I'm going to convince Henry to come round for another Pig of the Head Show podcast. I'm going to tell him to leave the beers at home, and no, really joking, mate. It's probably made for quite an entertaining video.
Because
actually,
I'm moving to China soon, right?
Yeah.
I've got loads of shit that I need to sell. So what I'm going to do is going to start showing it to
Auction it
people.
off on the
start
channel.
showing it to people on the show, and then I could say, picking their memorabilia, and then you're going to buy that shit.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that's it. I mean,
I've got this fucking oil heater that I need to sell at the moment. It ain't the right time of year, but some of you Southern Hemisphere cunts. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you need to pay for the passenger packaging, but we'll get something sorted out, yeah?
Yeah, get something
I'll
sorted out.
sign that shit.
He'll sign it. He'll actually dangle his ball back on it for 10 seconds, and maybe that will increase the
I
value.
don't know.
of it.
I'll fucking piss on it, signature it in piss, and then instantly fucking freeze it. Somehow I'll piss blue because I would have drunk like 1 million fucking blue fucking slush puppies beforehand, and then you can see it is my fucking oil radiator.
And on that note, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for getting involved. We'll see you soon. I've been the Flying Pig.
And I've been the not the flying hen, just the drunk hen.
We'll see you very soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Mr. Flying Pig HD and Henry_Hotspur. Until next time, have yourself a good one. Stay classy. Sort your freaking lives out, Manchester United. Let's see a little bit more guile and bollocks from you, eh? We've got one more game before the FA Cup final. We've got to win that. That's an absolute minimum this season. Thanks so much for stopping by. We'll see you very soon. Take it easy.
See you soon.
You fucking buckler.